台中采访报道。
Thank you for tuning in to Inside Taiwan. I'm Melvin Tam. A series of events, including the increase in both the prices of fuel and electricity, the possible implementation of a capital gains tax, and the controversy over whether or not to allow imports of U.S. beef containing leanness-enhancing agents, have stirred public unrest in recent months. The approval ratings of President Ma Ying-jeou, who concurrently serves as the chairperson of the KMT, have fallen, and there are some in the party who believe he should give up the chairmanship. However, there are rumors that the next year the president will stand in the election for party chief, although the party's central committee has not verified anything so far.
The DPP-sponsored proposal calling for zero tolerance on ractopamine in beef imports beat out the cabinet's proposal to allow controlled levels of the leanness-enhancing drug in beef imports. This issue, in addition to the double increase in fuel and electricity prices and the possible implementation of a capital gains tax, has raised the ire of the public. Last week, during a meeting of the KMT Central Standing Committee, several party members called for President Ma Ying-jeou to step down as party chairperson. Others liken this to an attempt to force the emperor to abdicate. In addition, there are rumors that the president will still stand in an election to lead the party next year. This was seen as a sign that Ma had the support of party heavyweight and legislative young president Wang Jinping. Nevertheless, the clamor among some party members for Ma to give up the position continued. Other rumors had Ma supporting Vice President-elect Wu Duanyi's proposal that the president automatically become the chairperson. However, this would only take effect starting in 2016, so that the party's platform will have time to become systemized and to prevent misgivings that this is a so-called Ma Ying-jeou clause. The party's Central Standing Committee has already refuted these rumors, helping to dispel the current political crisis.
2 people were killed in a deadly accident inside the Xueshan Tunnel on the 7th after a passenger bus caught fire. 7 were severely injured and rushed to National Yangning University Hospital, while an additional 20 were treated for smoke inhalation at Luodong's St. Mary's Hospital. The tunnel reopened to traffic at 6:25 a.m. on the 8th with a southbound speed limit of 80 kilometers per hour. The accident was the worst in the history of the tunnel, which opened 6 years ago. And in the wake of the Xueshan Tunnel bus accident, legislatures called on the Taiwan Area National Freeway Bureau to immediately take measures to prevent future fatalities. In response, the NFB said that it would strengthen ramp controls to ensure a distance of 15 meters between vehicles.
In the wake of the deadly collision that occurred in the Xueshan Tunnel on the 7th, a number of legislators attributed the accident to the tunnel's 90-kilometer-per-hour speed limit. According to lawmakers, the speed limit made it impossible for the 2 buses involved to avoid colliding with one another. Furthermore, it took half an hour for the tunnel smoke extraction system to start operating, despite the dense smoke that filled both the main tunnel and evacuation tunnels. In response, the Taiwan Area National Freeway Bureau clarified that the system could not be turned on until the fire was extinguished to avoid inadvertently fanning the flames. A bureau official also said that the tunnel speed limit would be reassessed and that ramp controls would be strengthened to maintain a distance of 50 meters between vehicles.
Due to Taiwan's mountainous topography, several extended tunnels have been constructed in recent years to reduce travel time. These include the nation's longest tunnel, the Xueshan Tunnel, the second longest tunnel, the Baguashan Tunnel. Due to the closest nature of these tunnels, smoke extraction and the rescue capability of firefighters are key in preventing fatalities when accidents occur.
Victims of the Shuishan Tunnel bus collision on the 7th said that the main tunnel's evacuation tunnels were filled with dense smoke as they made their way out. The Taiwan Area National Freeway Bureau admits that the doors to the tunnels were not closed in the fray and said that it would reassess whether doors should be closed by default. Due to the closed nature of extended tunnels, it can be difficult to extract smoke from tunnels during fires. Fire extinguishers and alarms are set up every 50 meters inside the 12.9-kilometer Shuishan Tunnel, while emergency telephones can be found every 175 meters. Evacuation tunnels, meanwhile, were constructed every 350 meters along the tunnel. An underground pilot tunnel for rescue vehicles can also be found running parallel between the two main tunnels. Taiwan's second longest tunnel, Shan Tunnel, is 4,928 meters long and has two tubes comprised of 2 lanes each. Despite frequent fire drills in Shuishan Tunnel and Shan Tunnel, experts are concerned about the live responsibility of firefighters in actual emergencies. The cables of both Shuishan Tunnel's tunnel lights and closed-circuit television systems were destroyed during the fire. Although this has no impact on the structural safety of the tunnel, further maintenance and testing are clearly required. The driving behavior of motorists is also key in preventing fatal accidents.
The amendments to the Mass Rapid Transit Law are under review at the legislature. As amended, passengers who engage in dangerous behaviors at the platform or on the escalator are subject to a maximum fine of $7,500 if they refuse to act according to the station staff's requests. If such violators are under age 14, their parents or legal guardians will be penalized.
Ministry of Transportation and Communications plans to penalize passengers engaging in dangerous behaviors at platforms or on the escalator. The amendments to the Massive Rapid Transit Law are currently under review at the legislature. Passengers who play at a platform, cross the yellow line, intentionally walk up the escalator the wrong way, or engage in any behaviors that could cause safety problems will be subject to a fine from $1,500 to $7,580. If the violators are under 14, their parents or legal guardians will face a fine ranging from $10,000 to $50,000 NT. While legislators propose to allow passengers to drink water while riding the MRT system, the Ministry of Transportation and Communications is inclined to continue the current ban. Other than the addition of penalties, the Taipei MRT system has plans to install power outlets in all of its stations within 6 months for passengers to charge their electronic devices over a short period. Kaohsiung MRT system also has offered the same courtesy facility to its riders.
The number of users of Kaohsiung City's public bicycle rental program has increased recently due to the rise in fuel prices. In the month of April, the number of users exceeded 70,000, which became a new all-time high. The city's Environmental Protection Bureau says the majority of users are commuters and students, and it is planning to add an additional 25 rental stations.
The number of users of Kaohsiung City's public bicycle rental program, called C-Bike, hit a record high in April, with over 70,000 users. The majority of them were commuters and students. In March, the program had registered 62,000 users, meaning that the number of users had increased by about 10,000 in 1 month's time. This was attributed to the increase in fuel prices and to the convenience of riding bicycles, as users can pay for their rentals using the iPass card, which also functions for the city's metro and bus systems. In addition, the first hour of rental is free, and so many have chosen to swap the MRT for bikes. Nevertheless, at the moment, there are only 51 rental locations, so many commuters are unable to make use of this program. Thus, the city's Environmental Protection Bureau plans to add an additional 25 rental locations by the middle of the year to reach 70% of the population, up from the current 40%. It will also team up with companies and communities to further increase the number of rental locations.
The latest scientific breakthrough may shed new light on rare premature aging disorder, which is known as the Hutchinson-Gilford progeria syndrome. An international collaboration consists of researchers from National Health Research Institute and experts from the United States and Singapore has recently discovered the gene mutation that causes aging cells. Experiments confirm that once the mutation is removed, the mice's longevity is enhanced by 2.5 times.
The boy in the picture is actually 8 years old, but he looks very old because of progeria. It is a life-limiting disease that results in the progeria children dying of heart disease and other aging-related problems at an average age of 13. Now, recent scientific findings may shed new light on the treatment. An international team formed by researchers of National Health Research Institute and experts from the United States and Singapore has discovered that the internuclear membrane protein SUN1 is what causes aging cells. With respect to the features of aging, the progeria appears to manifest. The development of symptoms is comparable to aging at a rate 8 to 10 times faster than normal. The condition causes wrinkled skin, atherosclerosis, kidney failure, loss of eyesight, hair loss, and cardiovascular problems. The experiments confirmed that the removal of SUN1 in mice would enhance the longevity from 41 days to 104 days, about 2.5 times. According to National Health Research Institute, this is a major discovery and will significantly benefit further anti-aging studies.
In recent years, the government has implemented a series of measures to encourage couples to have children and thus raise the nation's birth rate. The Child Welfare League Foundation believes the government can do more. As a recent survey it conducted found that many mothers believe it is quite inconvenient to bring their children outdoors because of inadequate public facilities such as restrooms or breastfeeding rooms.
Many parents find it troublesome to bring their children outdoors because they not only have to bring supplies with them, but there are also many outside hindrances that make pushing a stroller inconvenient. Then there's a problem of public restrooms. Many times the toilets are not suitable for children because they are too big, and family restrooms are few and far between. In addition, awkward situations arise when a father has to take his daughter to the restroom, whether entering into the women's room with her or taking her into the men's room. These were some of the common problems that parents deal with in a survey conducted by the Child Welfare League Foundation of mothers with children under the age of 4. 75% of respondents said their biggest headache is uneven road surfaces, while 73% said using public restrooms is inconvenient. Meanwhile, 64% of mothers said they have encountered difficulties when using the metro or bus systems with their children, and 48% complain that breastfeeding rooms are oftentimes too small. The foundation said it chose to release the results of this survey right before Mother's Day as a message to the government. It wants the government to know that encouraging couples to have children does not only mean handing out subsidies, but also creating a child-friendly environment.
As 2012 marks the year of the dragon, the expected soaring birth rate has boosted the business of postpartum care services. Legislatures have found out the staggering cost of special postpartum meals or staying in postnatal care facility creates huge financial burdens on expectant families. Given so, legislatures urge the government to establish postnatal care facilities and offer the service at affordable prices, while at the same time stepping up the supervision efforts on privately run ones to effectively alleviate child-rearing burdens for parents.
The rising birth rate in the year of the dragon has created high demand for postpartum care services. Mrs. Wu, who's 4 months pregnant, has been looking for such facilities since the first day of her pregnancy, but she was surprised to find that the 10 centers she found are fully booked. Some people choose to stay in the center for 2 weeks and have special postpartum meals delivered at home afterwards to save money. According to a research by lawmakers, the cost of preparing for such meals for 1 month is about $20,000, but the cost of having such meals delivered at door ranges from $45,000 to $60,000. The monthly expense at a private postpartum care service center starts from $120,000. The Consumer Protection Committee of the Executive Yuan did a random inspection on such facilities across the country and found that as high as 87% of the businesses is substandard. Lawmakers want to remind the public that a high price doesn't guarantee high quality. Given the high price service at postpartum care centers and insufficient supplies, lawmakers urge the government to offer such services to the public at affordable prices and enhance the supervision efforts on the facilities. Responding to that, the Department of Health says it will explore the issue after looking into the regulations.
回首台湾历史，您一定要知道的地方就是安平古堡。始建于1624年，是台湾最古老的要塞建筑。这里不仅是台湾发迹的发源地之一，更是建立了台湾历史上第一个汉人政权的地方。走进里头，有着些许惆怅。然而来到这里，您一定不能错过的地方就是四草湿地了。这里是民族英雄郑成功登陆台湾之后与荷兰人的第一个战场。如今走进里头，红树林自然生态丰富，实在很难连接到当年这里的景象。离开四草湿地，我们来到赤坎楼。这里是全台湾除了安平古堡之外最古老的荷兰建筑遗迹。整座城的城墙是以糖水、糯米汁搅拌贝壳灰，糊上红砖所砌成的。300多年来，经历了荷据时期，走过了明清时代，现在仍是一座风雅优美、层次丰富的建筑。走到里头，细看每个角落，就如同观赏一部活生生的建筑演进史。来到这里，悠悠古琴油然而生，此情此景，尽在不言中。
我要刮脚一点。
我觉得小朋友带给我的成长很多，因为每生一个小朋友，就让我重新的再看了一次这个世界。
像别人都希望他们的小孩赶快长大，可是我却不是。像老大他要上幼稚园了，其实我还蛮舍不得的。
打造儿童最友善的城市，给每个家庭最温暖的守护。
Welcome back to Inside Taiwan. I'm Melvin Tam. The island's terrestrial networks are covered from analog to digital in central Taiwan. On the 7th, cable subscribers will not be affected, but some households may need to install set-top boxes to continue receiving terrestrial stations.
怎么没有了？
At noon on the 7th, the island's terrestrial networks made the conversion from analog to digital in central Taiwan. Central Taiwan, which includes Hsinchu City's Shangshan, Hsinchu County's Emei, Miaoli County, Taichung City, Zhanghua County, Nantou County, Yunlin County, and northern Jiayi County, was the first region to undergo the change. Eastern Taiwan and Taiwan's offshore islands will go digital on May 28th, followed by southern Taiwan on June 11th and northern Taiwan on June 30th. According to the National Communications Commission's Central Regional Regulatory Department, digital signals went live starting in 2003, and nationwide coverage is currently over 90%. However, households that were previously able to receive 5 terrestrial channels with a single antenna are unhappy about the change. In response, the NCC has set up a 60-line customer service hotline and will be subsidizing set-top boxes for low-income households.
The government has proposed a second round of rebates for those who purchase energy-efficient appliances. Anyone who purchases a digital TV set or an air conditioner bearing an energy-efficient seal will be eligible to receive a rebate of $2,000 NT. The rebates are not limited to domestically produced appliances and also apply to foreign brands. It is estimated that the total amount set aside for the rebates will be $700 million NT for 350,000 appliances. The plan will go into effect at the end of May at the earliest.
The arrival of summer means an increase in the usage of air conditioners and longer hours to watch television. However, these actions will translate to a rise in costs because the prices of fuel and electricity have gone up recently. In an effort to help the public reduce its costs, the government has proposed a second round of rebates for the purchase of energy-efficient appliances. It is estimated that the government will earmark $700 million NT in rebates for 350,000 digital televisions and air conditioners. In addition, this time around, the rebate is applicable to all appliances, not just ones produced domestically. In related news, the first stage of the comprehensive transition from analog TV to digital TV will take place this July, and so households will need to install converter boxes. Around 120,000 low-income households will receive free converter boxes, and many stores are offering attractive prices and promotions to consumers to spur purchases.
To promote Taiwanese developed universal designs for barrier-free environment, Mr. Tang, a severely physically challenged individual, will personally go to Norway to attend the upcoming Universal Design 2012 Oslo. With a special camera installed on his wheelchair, he is going to videotape the barrier-free designs in Norway and bring back the experience to Taiwan to help create a safer living environment for the physically challenged.
Though sitting in a wheelchair, Mr. Tang, a severely physically challenged individual, loves to observe barrier-free designs across Taiwan since he has installed a special camera on the wheelchair. In June, the brave man is going to Norway to personally experience the safe living environment that the country has to offer. One more important mission of this trip is to attend the Universal Design 2012 Oslo, where he will promote Taiwan's achievements in universal designs. For the physically challenged, the 14-hour flight could be the biggest obstacle during the journey. But Tang says he will have to endure the physical discomfort, as his ambition is to help Taiwan get international attention for its wonderful designs and assist Taipei to win the bid to host the World Design Capital in 2016.
Students from the overseas Chinese high school Busan of South Korea are currently visiting Taiwan for their graduation trip. Principal Fang Yanming and 49 students have traveled to Taiwan for the 5-day, 4-night trip, and one of their stops was the Overseas Compatriot Affairs Commission for the purpose of reporting on the latest achievements by overseas schools. OCAC Deputy Minister Ren Hong used the opportunity to explain Taiwan's overseas Chinese education policy to the students and also encourage them to make plans to Taiwan to study for their university and graduate degrees in Taiwan.
49 students from the overseas Chinese high school Busan, Korea, led by their principal Fan Yanming, paid a visit to the Overseas Compatriot Affairs Commission, where they were welcomed by Deputy Minister Ren Hong. During the meeting, Fan thanked the OCAC for its assistance so that 3 military draftees were able to carry out their alternative military service by serving as teachers at the school. Meanwhile, the Deputy Minister encouraged the students to keep their eyes and ears open during their visit and to plan to study for their university or graduate degrees in Taiwan, now that restrictions on overseas students have been relaxed. Much to the delight of the students, Ren also discussed Korean celebrities with them, as many of the stars have large followings in Taiwan. Nevertheless, the idol of many of these students is Taiwanese-American basketball star Jeremy Lin. The group also paid a visit to the campus of National Taiwan University during this graduation trip. Fan said he hopes these experiences will allow the students to gain an understanding of what it's like to study in Taiwan.
The Neipu Township of Pingtung County is home to Taiwan's largest cultivation areas of wax apple and pineapple. And the township office recently held a wax apple and pineapple festival in order to further promote these agricultural products, hoping more consumers will get the chance to try the taste of Neipu's local specialties.
A series of lively dance performances by elderly citizens opened the 2012 Wax Apple and Pineapple Festival in Pingtung's Neipu Township, an event featuring the evaluation of local fruit products. As the harvest period for wax apples usually starts around early February, those harvested in May are generally considered past their season. However, wax apples freshly harvested in Neipu this month are still of high quality in terms of sweetness. The township's magistrate said that internationally acclaimed baker Wu Baochun, who is a native of Neipu, has chosen to use pineapples grown in his hometown as ingredients of his new bakery products, giving the customers of Kaohsiung, where Wu's bakery is located, a taste of Neipu's local specialty. And the farmers and residents of Neipu are more than confident that it's a taste consumers everywhere will surely enjoy.
Classes at Nantou County's Longhua Elementary School are conducted in temporary prefabricated houses. The school is renowned for its morning reading programs, which divide students into groups based on their reading abilities. Recently, the school was named as the recipient of the Ministry of Education's Reading Award, which the principal feels is an honor and an affirmation of the school's reading program.
Once a week, Longhua Elementary School student body gathers for morning reading. In each student's hands is a book of his or her own choice, while teachers select their own books to share with students. The school issues the top readers ranking every month, and students that make the top 5 are treated to a free breakfast. Apart from these incentives, teachers also hold reading comprehension workshops for different groups of students based on reading ability. The school's reading promotion program has been running for over a decade, but Typhoon Morakot necessitated changes to the program. Longhua Elementary School was recently named as the recipient of the Ministry of Education's Reading Award, which its principal feels is both an honor and an incentive to work harder in the future.
Visitors to Taroko Gorge are awestruck by the sheer cliffs and majestic landscapes that make this one of Mother Nature's grandest masterpieces. Shrouded in mist, Taroko Gorge is a paradise on earth that never fails to amaze. Even during the dark days of summer, visitors can enjoy the cool shade of the gorge, where gentle breezes and flowing water dispel the heat. Starting at the Shakaran River, walk along the carved-out trail and become one with the natural surroundings. The craggy cliffs stand tall, forming a natural barrier to the elements and making this the most popular trail in Taroko National Park. However, the crystal-clear blue waters of the Shakaran River are the main attraction. They seem to hold a mysterious world that has yet to be explored and is arguably the most beautiful spot in the whole park. Hiking further up the gorge, one can still hear the sound of rushing water below. The gorge itself looks as though a giant screwdriver had been used to cut out twists and turns in the rock. Beauty lies behind every corner and the scenery changes every few feet. This rugged beauty is a prime example of nature's awesome power. The Taroko National Park has something for everyone, whether they're interested in ecology, geology, culture, or education. Visit the park to explore the deep-cut gorge that was millions of years in the making. Come experience the beauty of Taiwan.
《海外侨胞回国庆贺第13任总统、副总统就职茶会定于5月21日举办，欢迎侨胞登记报名。详情请向我驻外管处或各地华侨文教服务中心洽询。
Welcome back. Here's a look at some of the art and cultural events. That's up to today's Inside Taiwan. I'm Melvin Tan. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.